Lions, rulers of the grasslands. Nile crocodile, the ruler of the waters. When lions and crocodiles clash on the banks of an African river, a single mistake can cost lives. Comment number 1 if you believe the lion will win, or number 2 if you think the crocodile will be the last survivor. Amidst Africa's vast rivers, swamps, and muddy waterways lives one of the planet's most fearsome predators. Nile crocodile, one of the largest reptiles in the world. An adult individual can be over 5 meters long, weigh nearly a ton, and possess one of the strongest bite forces in the animal kingdom. Unlike lions or leopards that must stealthily approach their prey on land, crocodiles turn the water itself into their weapon. Once the prey gets close enough, the attack will happen so quickly that there's almost no chance to react. During Africa's famous migration season, thousands of wildebeest must cross crocodile-infested rivers in search of new pastures. That's also when underwater predators are most active. Hiding in the murky water, the crocodile suddenly lunges, locking its massive jaws around the legs or neck of its prey and dragging it straight underwater. Many fights last only a few seconds before the victims disappear completely beneath the surface of the river. It's not just wildebeest that are targeted. Zebras are also frequently targeted. During those chaotic river crossings, even a single slow step could leave them vulnerable to crocodile ambushes. Once the jaws have closed, the chances of survival are almost nil. Even wild buffalo weighing hundreds of kilograms are sometimes attacked by crocodiles at the water's edge. Many fierce battles take place between the two most powerful animal species in the African riverine region. However, not all crocodile confrontations are aimed at prey. Sometimes they have to fight other dangerous opponents. In many river and lake regions of Africa, hippos frequently clash with crocodiles to protect their territory or offspring. But despite these dangers, the Nile crocodile remains one of Africa's most successful predators. Because underwater, where visibility is limited and all movement slows down, very few creatures can compete with it. And it was at that very water's edge that a particular rival frequently appeared, the ruler of the savannah, Lion. If crocodiles were the rulers of the river, on the vast grasslands of Africa, a different predator became the symbol of power. Lions, the only big cat species that live and hunt in prides. An adult male lion can weigh over 250 pounds, possessing powerful jaws, sharp claws, and enough strength to take down prey many times its own weight. Unlike crocodiles, which rely on underwater ambushes, lions dominate the savannah through collective strength. Every hunt is the result of perfect coordination. Thanks to that tactic, lions are able to take down many of Africa's largest animals. During the dry season, when water resources become increasingly scarce, many animal species are forced to congregate around the remaining lakes and rivers. That is also when lions have the most opportunities to hunt. Hidden among the golden grass, they patiently observe every move of their prey. Then, unexpectedly, it shot out at incredible speed. In just a few short seconds, a life-or-death chase began. However, a lion's life isn't just about hunting. They also frequently have to defend their territory against other lion prides. Battles between males can last for hours. Each bite and pounce was powerful enough to inflict serious injuries. The winner will gain control of the territory and the female. The loser often has to leave or perish in their own land. Lions also frequently clash with hyenas. These two predators constantly compete for carcasses and food sources in the savanna. On numerous occasions, confrontations between the two sides have escalated into brawls, involving dozens of individuals. Even though they are the rulers of the grasslands, lions still have their own limits. They are very strong on land. But as you get too close to the water's edge, that advantage begins to disappear. For beneath the murky waters, an opponent is not intimidated by the claws or roar of a lion. In the midst of Africa's harsh, dry season, as the small pools gradually disappeared under the scorching sun, all living things must seek out the remaining rivers in order to survive. That's also where the battle between lions and crocodiles begins. On a sweltering afternoon by the Mara River, a pride of lions had just finished a successful hunt. The victim was an adult wildebeest. The smell of fresh blood quickly spread on the wind. But the lions weren't the only ones to discover the feast. Beneath the murky waters not far away, a giant Nile crocodile glided by. Suddenly, the river surface exploded violently. The crocodile leaped out of the water with all its might and bit straight into the hind leg of a lion standing closest to the bank. A painful roar echoed along the riverbank. The lion struggled violently while the crocodile tried to drag its victim underwater. Mud and water splashed everywhere. The battle between the two apex predators officially erupted. The lions quickly surrounded their opponent from multiple directions. The lions' roars mingled with the crashing sounds of their massive bodies on the muddy riverbank. Neither side would yield. The crocodile gradually retreated towards the water's edge. It understood that its greatest advantage lay underwater, not on land. The lions remained standing on the shore, watching the last ripples of the waves gradually disappear. In the heart of the African wilderness, it serves as a reminder that even the most fearsome predators can become rivals when territorial boundaries are breached. Following a tense confrontation between a crocodile and a lion on the riverbank, you'll find that not every battle ends when the water calms down. The dry season is spreading across the African savanna. The once lush green lawns are gradually turning yellow under the prolonged heat. Food sources are becoming increasingly scarce. To survive, thousands of wildebeest begin a migration journey spanning hundreds of miles. In the distance ahead was a wide river separating them from the more fertile meadows. The calls of the flock echoed along the riverbank. Many individuals stood observing the water's surface with hesitation. Because they know that the biggest challenge of the migration doesn't lie in the journey ahead, and it's right in front of us. Between the two banks of the river, countless dangers are lurking in the shadows. Wildebeest are one of Africa's most famous migratory species. An adult can weigh anywhere from 400 to over 600 pounds. They move in huge herds, sometimes numbering in the tens of thousands of individuals. Living in packs helps them reduce the risk of attack, as they always have eyes and ears providing warnings from multiple directions. But with large quantities comes a problem. The movement is chaotic, and weaker individuals are always left behind. On the grasslands, their enemies are always lurking. Lions often work together in groups to take down individuals who have strayed from the pride. African wild dogs rely on their endurance for long-distance pursuits. Hyenas take advantage of the chaos to seize opportunities. And even the crocodiles in the river are waiting for the moment when the whole pack will be forced to cross the dangerous waterway. But no matter how strong they are, they still have a fatal flaw: crossing the river. Beneath the murky brown water, a giant Nile crocodile lay motionless. Only their eyes and nostrils protruded slightly above the water's surface. The body is long, 2-0 stand, heavy around 1,000 pounds. It almost completely disappeared into the river. It's not in a hurry. It makes no noise. Do not reveal your intentions. Crocodiles are masters of patience. For hours, even days, it can lie still, waiting. But as soon as the prey enters within a few feet, its full power will explode in an instant. A crocodile's jaws generate a biting force of up to approximately 3,700 pounds per square inches, among the strongest in the animal kingdom. Its muscular tail, nearly half the length of its body, allows it to launch itself out of the water at incredible speed. And once they've locked onto a target, crocodiles rarely let go. At this moment, the crocodile was not alone. Along that stretch of river, many other individuals are also silently waiting. They know that migration season is the most important time of the year. Each year, 5 million wildebeest and hundreds of thousands of zebras must cross rivers teeming with crocodiles. For crocodiles, this is one of the biggest hunting opportunities of the year. But for wildebeest, this is a challenging river crossing. A wildebeest suddenly plunged into the water. Immediately, the entire school followed behind, creating a chaotic current in the middle of the river. The sound of hooves pounding, water splashing, and shouts echoed across the river. As the herd was moving, one of the young animals began to fall behind. At that very moment, the water surface erupted violently. A crocodile lunged up from the depths and clamped its massive jaws around its prey. The antelope struggled in panic, but was gradually pulled toward deeper water. the crocodile performs a deadly spin, creating a powerful vortex to overpower its prey. With each passing second, the advantage shifts further in favor of the predator. But upstream, the entire herd of antelopes continued to move towards the other side of the bank. The migration has not stopped. Despite the losses, the journey for survival must continue. If you had liked the post sooner, the wildebeest probably wouldn't have been attacked by the crocodile. The African savanna, in the late afternoon, the long, slanted rays of sunlight fell upon the dry grass. Near natural mounds and cave systems, warthogs usually return after foraging. This is where they feel safest during the day. They rely on caves for shelter and to escape surprise ambushes. But that safety isn't always absolute, because today, a dangerous shadow is silently approaching from a distance. Far behind the tall grass, a pack of African wild dogs is gradually appearing. The African wild dog is one of Africa's most effective cooperative predators. They have mottled black, brown, and yellow fur, with each individual displaying a nearly unique pattern. Their large, round ears help them hear movement clearly, even from a distance. Its lightweight, yet incredibly durable body is well suited for long chases spanning miles. Wild dogs always live in close-knit packs, usually ranging from 6 to over 20 individuals. Every hunt has a clear division of roles: the leader, the one blocking the way, and the pursuer behind. They don't depend on a single power, which relies entirely on coordination and tactics. Their natural predators in the savanna include lions, hyenas, and sometimes even leopards. These species not only compete for prey, they can also attack and steal food or cause injury to stray dogs. And today, the entire herd's target was the warthogs returning to their dens after a day of foraging. The warthog continued moving toward the open, grassy area near the mound. It bent down to dig up roots and search for food without any warning. The distance between it and the cave entrance was getting further and further. And that's exactly what the whole pack of stray dogs was waiting for. The individuals began to disperse, forming a wide encirclement from multiple directions. Norwar. No need to rush. Only silent footsteps could be heard creeping through the tall grass. Savannah became unusually quiet before the chase began. Suddenly, the pack of stray dogs sped up. The warthog immediately turned and ran towards the nearest burrow. The pack of stray dogs quickly split into several directions, both pursuing and attempting to block the path. When only a few dozen meters from its hiding place, the warthog suddenly turned around and fought back. It lowered its head, pointing its fangs forward, making predators wary. But the pack of stray dogs continued to exert pressure from multiple sides. The chase continued intensely until the prey was cornered in a confined area. On the savanna, speed and tactics often make the difference. But even a small mistake can change the entire course of events. Whose side are you on in this fight? Comment 0 if you choose African wild dogs. One of the most amazing animals on the savanna, possessing a sharp mind and exceptional adaptability. However, in this vast wilderness, intelligence alone may not be enough to help them overcome all challenges. Water brings life to all living things, but it is also a place that harbors countless unpredictable surprises. Faced with constant dangers on their journey to find food and water, what will they do to continue to survive? In vast grasslands like the Serengeti National Park in Tanzania, lions and baboons are two familiar species that frequently appear in the same ecosystem. Baboons are one of the most common primate species in the delta, where thousands of individuals live among the vast grasslands and characteristic rocky outcrops of East Africa. Adult males can reach a weight of around 88 pounds. Their sturdy bodies, powerful arms, and nearly 2-inch-long fangs make them formidable opponents for many predators. These primates are adept climbers, resting in trees or on high rock outcrops to avoid danger. They are effectively adapted to a wide range of living conditions, from arid grasslands to rugged, rocky, mountainous terrain. The most striking feature lies in its highly developed social structure. A group can include anywhere from a few dozen to over 100 members. Each individual takes on a specific role in foraging for food, guarding, and caring for the younger generation. However, the sight of dogs with dog heads evoked a completely strange sensory experience. The kudu antelope is the most dangerous of all, incredibly difficult to approach. The slightest sound and a kudu will disappear. The baboons are standing by, keeping their promise, acting as reluctant informants. The kudu antelope chose this spot as a quiet place, a mistake that had been anticipated. A large kudu antelope can provide over 220 pounds of food, and the lions are quite satisfied. While the baboons remained unharmed, Machiavellian intelligence, an intellect honed to manipulate strategy and establish power in complex societies, was at great influence. The baboon's influence stems from its political acumen. It truly understands the rules of the social hierarchy and is willing to do anything to consolidate its position. A large chacma baboon weighs approximately 8 pounds. That's a huge difference, but because the baboon is standing on 2 legs, they're unharmed. The young lioness had to call for reinforcements from more experienced lionesses. The baboon had no choice but to hide in the bushes, waiting for a suitable opportunity. It couldn't risk heading straight toward the resting lions, nor did it have the strength to approach the carefully protected cubs. It retreated to the familiar rocky outcrops, returning to its herd. Suddenly, a familiar sound rang out. The lioness is still alone and exhausted after giving birth. Its offspring now weigh only about 4 pounds, was completely dependent on his mother's protection for survival. These small, frail baboons are omnivores, and they are particularly adept at spotting vulnerable prey. Another female baboon appeared, and the group continued moving except for her, but the baby baboon had to stay out of sight. The baby's faint cries will not reach its mother's ears. Before long, without the warmth and mother's milk, it will lose the ability to make any sound. Machiavellian intelligence, the cunning of group attack, the connection with the lion. All these strategies are most effective when the opponent is easily recognizable and predictable. But the leopard is the toughest challenge because it's in a class of its own and doesn't follow those rules. This is the most incredible big cat species on the planet. A tenacious survivor, not bound by any fixed diet, leopards maintain a diverse range of tastes. Intelligent primates cannot employ cooperative tactics with this predator because leopards are solitary, smaller, and more agile than lions. This relentless predator also targets baboons. Nighttime is its preferred time for activity. It's difficult for a diurnal creature to fight off one of the most accomplished nocturnal predators. During the day, baboons don't retreat at all. Even when alone, baboons demonstrate their strength. Adult male baboons in the Cape, with their extremely high testosterone levels, will not back down from a leopard or a young male, but experienced males are a completely different story. They know how to disrupt the baboon troop and strike before their prey even realizes it. Research at Kruger National Park confirms that during daylight hours, the success rate of leopard hunting is very high. Encountering an adult baboon in a troop is virtually impossible. Baboons make up less than 5% of the leopard's diet in most regions because the cost is too high. Compared to lions and leopards, baboons are able to negotiate, fight back, or at least find a way to escape. The chases usually lead nowhere because baboons are too fast on the ground. Which creature in today's episode gave you the most to think about regarding the natural world? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Your understanding is the greatest tribute to these wild inhabitants. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel to join me on future field expeditions, where we will explore the most mysterious survival secrets together. And if you want to learn more, follow the channel to discover many more interesting things.